Lincoln Mitchell here. All right, let's dive straight into it. No delay. We're going to talk about the essentials of entering a trade. Basically, when you about to enter a trade, what are you looking for? How do you really maintain these trades and so forth? So let's dive right into this. The first thing you need, people, I'm telling you now, you're not getting around it. There's no ifs, there's no ands. No, you need the trend to be going in your favor, people. You need that trend to go in your favor. If you're going to enter any trade, the first thing you need is that trend to be going in your favor. If that trend is not going in your favor, you're gambling. You got to be careful with that trend. You got to be careful. It has to go corresponding to what you're trying to do, which brings us to the next one, your target. Now, believe this or not, I flip these up around. But for the sake of this video and for the people who really want to learn how to trade, go with the trend first. The trend and the target have to correspond, people. You're not getting around that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts or suppose about that. You're not getting around the trend. Uh-oh. Let's get right here. Right now we got a trend that's going slightly up, which I'm glad. So we're going to take it here. We're going to take it there. Right? So we got a trend. Now, believe it or not, people, the next thing, what did I tell you you need? The next thing you need, what did I tell you, is your target. You have to have a target, people. You have to have that target. So the next thing, let me slide this over just a tad bit. Oh, I already messed it up. All right, right there. All right, so now we need a target. Now, believe it or not, people, there is a target. Oh, this thing ain't working over. Believe it or not, there is a target right here. So we want to, there's a target at 42. We're going to go right here. We're going to put this target. This is a real target, people. This is not a fake target. I was doing this last night, and this is one of the notebook trades I put up. So this right here, this is a true target. Now, the first thing you need is a target. The trend and the target, they have to align, people. Listen to me. There's no buts, suppose, there's no doubt about that. They have to align, just like this one. You see my trend is going up and my target is here. They have to be going together. You cannot have the trend going the opposite way. You cannot have something like this, people. Your trend going this way and your target is up there. You can't do that. Don't do that. You're gambling. Remember, when you're trading, people, you're going for the highest possibilities. That's what you're going for. You're going for the highest possibilities, setups, and so forth. So the first two things you need that trend, people. I'm telling you now, you need that trend and that target. Now, like I said, for me, sometimes I will have a target and I will wait for the trend. But for you all, please stay with the trend. Know the trend is going somewhere. Okay. So now we got the first two most dominating things, which is your trend and your target. Now we need an entry. Now the next part you're gonna need is entry. That's gonna be your next part. Your entry should always be at a support or resistance. Every entry, not some, all of them should be at a support and resistance. Now, like I said, I already did this one, so I already know where this one's going. My entry is going to be 28. And this is a real trade, people. Now, that's my entry. So what I'm saying is this. If that thing breaks 28, it is going to go up to 42. But you want to do what you call scaling. So if it breaks this line here, I know I can get it up to here. So a lot of times I can get the real answer is 42. I want to pull this trade up real quick because this is one I actually really truly did just recently. And this is a notebook trade I just posted. So this right here is a real trade, people. This is not a fake trade. right there. This is the same trade we're looking at right now. What did I tell you? See, you want to take profit here. The real target is 142. Need to close above 1428. Should go easy 10 pips. Do you understand? This is a real trade. This is not a fake trade. I just hate doing things fake. So what I'm saying is, if it breaks 28, it's going to hit 42, right? So what I'm going to do is, I want this to go break above this, close. I know it's going here. I know that's where it's going. Whether you like it or not, it's going there. That's a super strong gravity line right in that area. So my first thing I need is a trend. The next thing I know, now that my trend is working for me right now. My next thing I need is a target. Now I got my target. Now I need an entry. I don't have my entry yet, but once it do that, I know that's where it's going. So remember your trend, your target, your entry, which all is going to be on support and resistance. Drawback. This is trade killers, people. Drawback. And I know a lot of y'all thought I was going to hit support. I mean, stop. I bet a lot of y'all thought I was going to hit the stop next. Wrong answer. You got to know that drawback. Because if this close above this, you have to know how far is your drawback going before you get out the trade. Just because it goes under it doesn't mean it's going to close under it. But there's a point in trading where you must realize this drawback is too far. You have to. You have to figure that out. You got to know that. That's something you're going to have. Somebody's going to have to teach you about that. So once this closed underneath this and you have that drawback coming back, you need to know how far you're going to let that drawback go. So we got the trend. We got the target. We got our entry. We got a great entry now, people. Ooh, now we got to wait for that drawback. Let's go. Stop. Your stop should always be at support and resistance. So just like we said, we got the trend. We got the target, we got the entry, we got the drawback. Now, the support and resistance. So the entry and the stop should take take each other's place. So once it breaks above that resistance, it becomes your support. So that should be your stop as well. Now, these two can kind of go back and forth. You might have a different stop versus your drawback, and that's fine, because I do. That's fine. But see, here's the kicker right here, which is our honorable mention. Your time frames and your scaling. First of all, what time frames are you using? You notice I put an S on time frames. I didn't say time frame. I said time frames. What time frames are you using? That's part one. Part two of that honorable mentions is, are you scaling it? Basically, scaling it means once this breaks above this line, and it gets it right here, I might get scared. So I'm going to scale a stop. I'm going to scale a stop. I'm bringing my stop here, so I know I'm going to get something out of the deal. I know I'm going to get something out of the deal. I know it. So I'm going to scale it just in case. So if it goes up here and I say, oh man, it's starting to teeter. It's starting to teeter, so I'm scared. I want to keep my profit, so you want to scale it. But those are definitely your dimensions of entering a trade. You got your trend, your target, your entry, your drawbacks, your stop, the time frames, and are you scaling it? People, you never enter any trade, regardless of what goes on right here, people. If you do not have these two first fundamentals together, don't you enter that trade. That's a recipe for disaster. Until you get these two together, these two are the most dominating factors in trading, period. Then the entry is definitely a good one. For some odd reason, knock on wood, for me, my entries was not hard for me to learn. It seems to be a big problem in a lot of traders I meet, but for me, it was not bad at all. I just took to it. Drawbacks were killers for me. That was my hardest part, because I would take a massive loss because I was not monitoring my drawbacks. My stops and resistance was perfect for me. My time frames and scaling, I think I scaled too close. That's one of my problems. But these are the essentials of entering a trade. Do you understand me? Lincoln Mitchell. Bye.